Most people think getting visible abs means endless crunches, tracking calories, and hours of cardio. But the ancient Greeks did none of those things, yet they developed some of the strongest and most athletic physiques in history. To be honest, I couldn't sleep until I figured out how they got those perfect abs. So I did hours of research. And interestingly, most people think you need to have a low body fat percentage to get visible abs, which is kind of true when you don't know how to train your abs the right way. For example, here's a picture from an average man with about 20% body fat. And now look at Eddie Hall, who trained his abs but with the same amount of body fat. So, to get abs in 30 days like a Greek god without having to be low in body fat, you need these exercises, which you can even do at home. The first one is an isometric hold called the Pancratius isometric core brace. To perform it correctly, lie on your back, bend your knees, and keep your feet flat on the floor. Then place your fingers just below your belly button. Now pull your belly button down towards the floor, almost like you're trying to move it away from your fingers. Some people forget to breathe properly on this exercise, so focus on your breath as well. Your upper abs, back, and hips should stay relaxed. Hold that position for 5 seconds, and that's the Pancratius isometric core brace. But Baron, that doesn't even look effective. I mean, you're basically just lying there. Yes, to be fair, you're right. It doesn't look impressive at all. But the thing is, don't focus on how it looks. Focus on what it's actually doing to your abs. For example, your abs look okay above the belly button, but there's a soft bulge below it. That's usually a sign that the deep layer isn't doing its job, and honestly, endless crunches won't fix it, because crunches barely even touch that muscle. This hold goes straight after it. I mean, think about it. When you cough, you feel something tighten deep inside your gut. That's the muscle we're trying to train. This exercise teaches it to stay switched on, which helps pull your midsection flatter from the inside out. So yeah, that's why they say don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, that sounds pretty good. But what about the frequency? How often do we do this for best results? Well, for that, you'll have to wait a little longer, because there's a Greek method we're going to follow that ties everything together and helps you build abs in 30 days. But before that, let's get to the second exercise. It's also an isometric hold, but honestly, it's even more effective than the first one. It's called the hollow body hold, an exercise that is pretty underrated in my opinion. Now, before your imagination starts going somewhere weird with the word hollow position, let me explain. First, lie on your back. Then press your lower back into the floor. Really flatten it down. Now raise your arms straight overhead. At the same time, lift your legs slightly off the ground. Then lift your shoulders off the floor too. Your body should form a shallow curve, almost like an upside-down bowl. And once you're there, just hold that position. Start with 5 to 10 seconds. Now here's where most people mess it up. And honestly, a lot of YouTube videos don't even mention this. They let their lower back arch off the floor. The moment that happens, your abs stop doing most of the work. Instead, you're just loading your lower back, which completely defeats the purpose of the exercise. It's kind of like going to a restaurant for a juicy steak and getting a side salad instead. Okay, but you said earlier that this one is way more effective than the first exercise for abs. How exactly is this one better? This is actually the interesting part. Back in 2010, a researcher named Escamilla compared different abdominal exercises to see which ones activated the abs the most. But remember, the first exercise we talked about was also in that category. What they found was that isometric holds like the hollow body activated the rectus abdominis and the obliques more than crunches, even more than most other ab exercises, including the first hold we talked about. So when researchers put these methods to the test, the ancient style hold came out on top. And honestly, that's what makes it such an efficient exercise for building abs. Think about it. You're training the visible six-pack, the deeper core muscles, and the sides of your abs all at the same time. That's a lot of value from one position, right? However, between these two exercises, you've covered almost every part of your abs. But there's still one area that neither of them really hits very well. And that's exactly why the next exercise is so important, because it covers the missing piece. But before we go into this, a quick mention. As always, as you know, I hit a code in the video. The first person to find the code will receive both of the workout books I've written for free. The link is in the description. Anyways, this one is called the Pancratius Rotational Ground Control, or Mountain Climbers in today's language. Now, pancration was an ancient Greek combat sport. And yeah, this exercise gets its name from that. Anyway, here's how you do it. Start in a high plank, basically the top position of a push-up. Then bring your right knee across your body towards your left elbow. As you do that, rotate your hip slightly. Go slow here, about 3 full seconds per rep. Then return to the start and switch sides. And the whole time, keep your hips low and your core tight. Wait a second here, Baron. You said the first 2 exercises barely touched one part of the abs, and this one covers it. So what's the part? It is the part that makes abs look carved, those deep lines down the sides. Dr. Gallen documented crossbody exercises used by Greek athletes to build the sides of the body, which we now call the obliques. And here's exactly why those sides matter so much. Your obliques come in 2 layers. The outer layer rotates your trunk one way, the inner layer rotates it the other way. So when you do rotational movements, both layers have to work against each other at the same time. And that's where the magic happens. That constant tension is what makes them stronger. And it's also what creates those deep, carved lines along the sides of your abs that endless crunches just can't build. So Baron, you've shown us the exercises, fair enough, but you also said 30 days. And honestly, I don't think doing these exercises alone for 30 days is suddenly going to give me visible abs. You know what? You're absolutely right. I was actually hoping someone would say that. These exercises are only one piece of the puzzle. If you want the fastest results, you have to follow the Greek method behind them. Without that method, getting noticeable abs in 30 days becomes a lot harder, but still doable. And that method was called the Tetrad. Philostratus actually wrote about this directly in his training manual. It is a 4-day cycle called the Tetrad, and honestly, it's surprisingly simple. Day 1 was preparation, a moderate day to get the body ready for the work ahead. Then came day 2, concentration. This was the hardest day of the cycle. Basically, this is where you stop negotiating with yourself and actually put in the work. After that came day 3, moderate. A lighter day designed to help the body recover without doing nothing. And finally, day 4 was skill. The focus wasn't intensity, it was quality, control, and perfect technique. Then the whole cycle repeated. The Greeks called this wave loading. In simple terms, hard, then medium, then light, then skill. Because your body doesn't grow during the hardest workouts, it grows when it recovers from them. And honestly, most people train at full intensity every single day and then wonder why their progress hits a wall. The Greeks figured that out about 2,000 years ago. But Baron, how do we actually use this for our 30-day abs plan? Don't worry, I've got you. Here's exactly how you can follow it. On day 1, do 3 sets of 10-second Pancratius isometric core brace. Then add a side brace. Just lie on your side, support yourself on one elbow, and hold your hips off the floor for 20 seconds per side. Then, on day 2, the hard day, do 3 sets of 30-second hollow body holds, and follow that with 3 sets of 12 reps per side of rotational ground control. After that comes day 3, and things get a little lighter. Do 2 sets of 5-second hollow body holds, then follow that with 3 lighter sets of 5-second isometric core brace. And finally, on day 4, run through all 3 exercises as one full circuit for 2 rounds. Just focus on clean form and control. Then the cycle starts all over again. And here's where it gets interesting. Every week, add 5 seconds to each hold or 2 reps to every set. So by week 4, you're doing longer holds, more reps, and your body has had built-in recovery the entire time. And that's how you can build visible abs at home in 30 days, the Greek way. And if you're interested, you can sign up for my free newsletter. I love writing, so I do it in my free time and put some surprises in there as well because I really appreciate everyone who watches my videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.